Oh, my goodness. Is it that time again? I guess it is. It's time for us to visit with Grandpappy Sparks and his magic radio. Come on, everybody, let's go. Yes, it is time to visit with Grandpappy Sparks and his magic radio. Time for us to learn about all kinds of things and have some fun, too. And now, let's go over to Grandpappy Sparks' hobby shop and see what's going on.
There's a loud screeching of the brakes, and the automobile skidded to a stop. I tell you, Ray, if that driver hadn't been paying close attention, there would have been a bad accident. Children should be more careful when they walk to and from school. What's the matter, Ray? Got your wires crossed?
We've got company, Grandpappy. Our radio friends are here.
Radio friends? Oh, so they are. Hi, boys and girls. I'm glad you could join me today. Ray and I were just talking about safety. I saw some children playing around parked cars this morning, and there nearly was a bad accident.
Children should never play around parked cars. Too many things can happen.
You can say that again, Ray. I hate to think what would have happened if somebody started the motor and backed up.
You know, I was just thinking. Automobiles look like they have two big eyes. But their eyes are really headlights. Headlights can't see anything.
No, and headlights aren't eyes that can see what's going on behind the car, either.
By golly, Grandpappy, that gives me an idea for a story song.
Story song? What about?
Why, about an automobile that has two big eyes. Radio friends, you listen carefully to the words of this story song. It has a good lesson about safety.
Did you know that an automobile has two big eyes? An automobile has two big eyes to see where it is going. And if you don't use your own two eyes, its horn will start a-blowing. But like yourself, it cannot see what's happening behind it. So here's the lesson to be learned, and I hope you will mind it. It's silly to play too near a car, for when the motor's humming, it cannot look round and say to you, I'm going or I'm coming.
Oh, I like that story song, Ray. Did you like that, radio friends? You should never play around parked cars. Just because their headlights look like two big eyes, cars really can't see. You've got to be the one to do the looking out. Land sakes, here comes Miss Connie. Miss Connie's the crossing guard down at the busy corner at the elementary school. Oh, hi, Miss Connie. Anything wrong?
Hi, Grandpappy. Hi, Ray. It's my wristwatch. It keeps losing time. Can you fix it?
Well, there's not a wristwatch around that I can't fix. Let's see it.
Very well. Here it is.
How's your job, Miss Connie? I'll bet you're really busy now that school has started.
I sure am busy, Ray. Making sure that boys and girls cross the street safely is a big job.
And that is a dangerous crossing, too. Grandpappy and I were just talking before you came in. We were saying how important safety to and from school really is.
Every boy and girl should know a few of the safety rules.
And while Grandpappy is back at his workbench fixing your wristwatch, why don't we go over some of the safety rules right now?
That's a good idea, Ray. Safety should be everybody's business.
Now, when you give us a safety rule, I'll play one of my radio chimes like this.
All right, let's begin. Safety to and from school. Here's the first rule to remember. Always walk on sidewalks. If there are no sidewalks, walk a safe distance from the roadway. Sidewalks were made to walk on.
That's a good rule. Always walk on sidewalks. And what's next?
Rule number 2. Cross streets at the proper places.
Well, I suppose you mean cross streets at the corners.
That's right. Crossing at corners or other places which are marked for crossing is one sure way of obeying the law. It's also the safest place, too.
Don't boys and girls of the School Safety Patrol help children cross dangerous streets near the school?
Indeed they do, Ray. Children should always obey the boys and girls of the Safety Patrol. They have an important job to do.
Indeed they do, Miss Connie. Let me say that safety rule again. Cross streets at the proper places. And what's the next rule?
Rule number 3. Know when to cross with the traffic light.
Oh, that's an important one. Know when to cross with the traffic light. That means to know when to walk with the green light and to stop with the red light.
Yes, and it also means to know what the yellow light in between the red and green light means. Your classroom teacher will help you learn the meaning of the traffic light. Learning to cross with the traffic light is very, very important part of walking safely to and from school. And our last rule for today, look both ways before crossing the street.
I like that one. Look both ways before crossing the street. Always make sure the traffic is clear before you step off the curb.
And here is your wristwatch, Miss Connie. Good as new.
Why, thanks, Grandpappy. It didn't take you very long to fix it.
'Twasn't much to fix. Say, why was Ray playing those radio chimes?
Oh, we were talking about safety rules.
And I played a chime every time Miss Connie gave us a safety rule.
Safety rules, huh? Last week I started a list of safety rules. I'll just add these new rules. Now, let me get my paper. Here it is, and here's my pencil. Suppose I hear those rules. I'll just write them down.
Very well. Ray, a chime, if you please. Rule number 1.
Rule number 1.
Always walk on sidewalks.
Always walk on sidewalks. Now, that's a good rule.
And remember, if there are no sidewalks, walk a safe distance from the roadway. Sidewalks were made to walk on.
Here's rule number 2, Grandpappy.
Rule number 2.
Cross streets at proper places.
Cross streets at proper places. That's a good rule. I always try to cross at the corner myself. What's next, Miss Connie?
Rule 3.
Number 3.
Cross with the traffic light.
Cross with the traffic light. Wait a minute. That's a strange rule. How can I cross the street with a traffic light? I can't even lift it.
Oh, no, Grandpappy. Cross with the traffic light means wait until the light turns green before you go.
Well, I was wondering.
And stop when the light turns red.
And don't forget, the yellow light means to get ready to stop.
It will take some practice for our radio friends to learn. Perhaps their classroom teacher can help.
It's important to learn these traffic light colors. Learning the colors might just save your life. What's the next rule?
Look both ways before crossing the street.
Goodness gracious, yes. That is important. Look both ways before crossing the street.
There. You have our safety to and from school rules for today. Of course, there are other things to remember, too.
Other things? What are they, Miss Connie?
Well, boys and girls should always be careful of alleys and driveways. Stop, look, and listen whenever you come to an alley or somebody's driveway.
What about standing too close to the school bus? I'm sure some of our radio friends ride the bus to school.
Oh, that's a good thing to remember, Ray. Always stand back a safe distance from the school bus. Keep in a line if you can. Never push or crowd to get on the bus. And another thing, once you're in your seat, stay there. Never, never change seats or run around. Never do anything to cause the bus driver to glance away from the road.
What about knowing your name and address? That would be important.
That would be important, Ray. I'm glad you mentioned it. Every boy and girl who is listening to this program should know his name, address, and telephone number.
Name, address, and telephone number. By grannies, you're right. If you know these things, you could tell someone in case you ever got lost.
Getting lost is a terrible thing, especially if you don't know your address or telephone number.
What should a boy or girl do if they do get lost going to and from school?
Well, let me answer that if I may. One person to ask would be a policeman. I have a story song about that very problem.
A story song? Let's hear it, Ray.
Yes, go ahead. I like listening to the magic radio.
All right, here goes.
Here's the song I just love to sing, and I think you will like to sing it too. Remember your name and address and telephone number too. Then if someday you lose your way, you'll know just what to do. Walk up to that kind policeman, the very first one you meet, and simply say, I've lost my way, I cannot find my street, but I know my name and address and telephone number too. Then he'll be kind and help you find the dear ones who wait for you.
Oh, that was a good story song, Ray. I hope our radio friends do remember their name, address, and telephone number. No one likes to get lost. Oh, my goodness! Look at the time. I've got to be getting down to the corner. Some of the children will be getting out of school.
Maybe you can come back another time, Miss Connie.
I'll try, Grandpappy. So long, Ray.
Goodbye, Miss Connie.
There goes a hard-working woman. She's been the crossing guard for a long time.
And she is doing a good job.
She's given us lots of good tips about safety to and from school. I'm going to put my list of rules right here next to... Oh, my gosh.
What's the matter, Grandpappy? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Look here, Ray. Miss Connie was in such a hurry to get to her corner that she plumb forgot to take her wristwatch. I've got to hurry over there and take it to her. Hey, Miss Connie, you forgot your watch? Miss Connie?
You have just heard Grandpappy Sparks and his Magic Radio. This program was written and produced by Jerry Limbert for the Science and Health Education Department of the South Bend Community School Corporation. Your announcer, Bob McDermott.